When it comes to solving most of our problems, there are two huge obstacles that are getting in our way. Number one, our belief system, and number two, the dark side of our behavior. Now, I've talked about these pieces to the puzzle quite often in most of my videos. I even did one video especially that talks about these three main pieces in 4 main stories. And go down below in the description box. If you haven't seen this video, I think you guys are really going to like it, where I have escaping the matrix of evil is what I call the video, and there's 4 main stories that I explain how these 3 pieces affect everything. Because remember, the number one obstacle is our belief system. There's 2 pieces in that puzzle that are getting us in trouble. Remember, there are 21 main problems of knowledge I've talked about in my other videos. 2 forms of ignorance, where we don't know, 12 sources of false knowledge, and 7 wilderness factors. So the number one problem of knowledge is not having the knowledge we need. That's the knowledge we're missing. That's the knowledge of how to live and the knowledge of how to adapt. That's why we have so many problems. We're lacking that knowledge. And it's obvious we don't have that knowledge, otherwise we wouldn't have so many problems that are 100% within our control. But we don't know that because of the dark side of our behavior, or the darkest of the dark side of our behavior that's keeping this knowledge away from us and giving us false knowledge in its place. So that's the other form of ignorance that's getting us in trouble. So the number one obstacle is our belief system. 2 forms of ignorance. We don't know. There's knowledge we're missing that's up in the plus A box of knowledge. And then there's that false knowledge we have in its place. Now, we've got a lot of false knowledge about a lot of things. And a lot of things it doesn't matter that much. So we don't want to spend too much time looking at some things that don't help solve problems. At least at this stage, when we've got so many problems. So, false knowledge is the number one reason why we don't know, or why we don't have the knowledge we need. We cannot learn anything when we think we already know. So that's the first step most of us have to take in order to solve our problems, is deal with our belief system. We have to first admit that we don't know, and be willing to entertain an idea that might be in conflict with our current belief system. So what do? Well, the easiest way is to test an idea as time has come, and that's where the first of my 3-step process comes into play. And I have a link down below that will take you to that first step, including a link to a playlist for a solid food vacation, where I've linked a lot of videos in one playlist that you can see to help you really understand your belief system. And then remember, the main reason why we don't know is because of the dark side of our behavior. Now, we've been lied to about this aspect of us. We've been told that it's just part of our nature, nothing we can do about it, it's part of your DNA, it's part of, man has a propensity for evil, and that's all a lie. The very first mistake we made is what created the dark side of our behavior. Now it's one of the biggest obstacles. It's the main thing that keeps us where we are. This is what Carl Jung called our shadow. And we have an individual shadow and a collective shadow, and I've said many times, it's our collective shadow that keeps us where we are. It's the collective shadow that bombards our brain with so much bullshit that we can't make sense out of anything, and then we get easily tricked and distracted into chasing rabbit holes like Flat Earth. You people are first-class fools trying to prove something that has no significance other than, oh, we've been lied to. Yeah, we know. Oh, it proves God exists. Oh, come on, man. Get real. The solution to our problems lies within admitting we are making mistakes. Got to stop blaming it on God. We got to stop blaming it on even the people who rule the world, because they're a reflection of us. But we have to understand what they're doing to us. They get us distracted. They get us to fight amongst ourselves. They promote these bullshit theories like the Flat Earth Theory, distracting you guys and getting there, and now we're going to be arguing about, oh, this is right, this is right. It's a distraction. COINTELPRO. This is a psyop. It's so obvious. What's the best way to discredit people who are critical thinkers? Well, the CIA figured out a long time ago. We'll call them a conspiracy theorist. Now you laugh at people, oh, you're a conspiracy theorist. Now more people are waking up. Now how do we continue to laugh at those guys? Well, let's throw in the Flat Earth Theory. They'll make laughing stocks out of every one of them. Don't you see how you're being played and tricked and fooled? It's no significance. It doesn't matter. We don't have I mean, when you even try to prove anything out, it's all based on, well, what mathematical equation you're going to use. It sort of reminds me of what got me into this 28 years ago. I perfected an extremely complicated mathematical procedure to monitor my caloric activity, which is why I started writing a book on weight loss 28 years ago. And I understood my limitations with what I created, because it was all based on what I used to estimate everything. Well, that's the whole problem with, is the Earth flat or round? I'll use this equation, I'll use this equation. It doesn't, you don't just see, it's a waste of time. It's entertaining. It's a nice mental exercise, but is it solving any problems? Of course not. We got to take responsibility and realize how we're being distracted. This is a classic example of what I call the Roses 1-2 poppycocker. Number one, look, they're lying to us. NASA's lying. Therefore, the Earth is flat. God, it just boggles my mind how people get sucked into these things. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. What does matter is what are you doing spending your time? What are you spending your time doing? How many hundreds of hours are you researching this bullshit when you don't even know how to live, when you don't have knowledge of how to live, when you haven't done a solid food vacation yet? Now, if you've already done that and you're contributing and you think this is what we have to do downstream, fine, you'll be one of those people that will work on that project. But we got way too many people doing downstream bullshit that has no consequence. No consequence. And then I get all you stupid shills coming over to my message board or my comment section. And God, it's so obvious, it's pathetic. I know you can fool a lot of people, but you're not fooling me. We have to understand how the rulers of the world work. They're masters of illusion, masters of distraction. Flat Earth, distraction! Distraction. And you're being played by COINTELPRO. It's a psyop, psychological operation, counterintelligent programs. Don't you understand? They're going to be laughing at everyone now because of what they think this is the answer. So what we have to do is we have to take responsibility. And we got to stop, we got to realize, yeah, we can't trust the government, we can't trust this. And who can we trust? You can only trust yourself. As Aristotle said, believe only your own experience. There is no fact like a fact learned from your own life. So you've got to do something you've never done before. You got to test an idea as time has come. Go down below in the description box and check out my Solid Food Vacation playlist. See for yourself the role you're supposed to play, and then spend your time on the hero's journey getting this message out. Don't make stupid videos about something that people are only going to laugh at you when you go that direction. It's a distraction. You're being played, you're being duped, you're being fooled. And again, you got to understand, yeah, you have to put things in perspective. If it isn't solving a problem, it's a distraction. And if everything was just fine, then I'd say, okay, go on ahead and do that. But things aren't fine. Things are only getting worse. And we could change it around in an instant if we can simply get enough of us to reach the tipping point and get everyone's attention. So as you know, this is the purpose of my channel. Read down below in my comment section. You're seeing a lot of people doing this, and they're seeing unbelievable results. Some people coming, oh, there isn't a serpent that lives within us. Oh yeah? Look how many days she hasn't eaten food, and she's seeing that stuff coming out of her. We're full of crap and shit, every one of us, if we're eating the wrong food, and most of us are. Remember, there's 5 main mistakes we're making. The Solid Food Vacation is going to correct all 5 of those mistakes. And you'll poop out what Victor Hugo called a serpent that lives within us. The serpent is the intestines. It's this slow, stagnant cesspool from eating shitty food because we've been tricked and lied and not told how to live. Our parents were lied to, and they're lying to us. We're passing down the same bullshit, stupid ways of life that is what's creating everything we got. We got to end this cycle right now. I said before, this is the worst form of child abuse because it's what sets up all the other forms. And a lot of people don't understand that because you don't understand how to go back to the first cause. What is the fall of mankind? We did something. We started cooking our food. It destroyed the biophotons, the sunlight energy that we store in the nucleus of our cells that allows cells to communicate. We lost one of our senses. We're supposed to have 6 senses, we only have 5. That's the only thing we should focus on, helping everyone get their 6th sense. Screw the Flat Earth Theory Psyop. It's COINTELPRO. Wake up, people. Play your role. Get excited. Put your energy into something that will help other people. This is only going to get people to laugh at you, and no one's going to be able to prove it either way. So it's time to get excited. It's time to go down below and check out my playlist if you haven't done so yet. Take a solid food vacation, and when you do, my friends, you're in for a treat.